because he's one of the people that keep the tradition of the ballroom alive. Mr. R. Chanel. All the way from Atlanta, he is back here.
Let's give it up for R. Chanel.
Give it up for this man. Definitely a Canadian.
Tens across the board, the best dress. The best of the dress.
R. Chanel.
Hey, Luna.
An icon in our scene. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to be here. I'm finally on the Luna show, and this is something that I've been dying to do because, you're like one of the milestones here in the ballroom scene, and you do so much for the community too. So I really appreciate that, and that's for real.
Thank you.
So, what can I tell you about me?
I want to know everything about you. Tell me about your beginnings.
Well, everybody knows my story. I wanted to be a Dupree, and Paris told me that if I wanted to be a Dupree, I had to win a grand prize trophy. And I was like, a grand prize trophy? And she's like, yeah. So I started walking balls, and my category was runway. And I didn't win for a while. And then I started winning, and I won my first trophy. And I went back to Paris, and I said, oh, Paris, I got my trophy. Now can I be a Dupree? She said, baby, not that. The big, big, big one. And that's when I got my first dose of shade.
Wow.
So I realized at that point that I couldn't be a Dupree, so what could I do? So rather than try to join another house, I said, I'm going to start my own house. And that's how the House of Chanel came about. And I began the House of Chanel as one person, and then Kenny Chanel joined, and then Terry Chanel joined, and then it just started trickling and trickling and trickling. And here we are in 2011, and
the House of Chanel is still here.
Chanel in every state. So it's a wonderful thing to have my legacy still living on, even though I've taken a step back from the scene to focus on my business, because I have a modeling agency here in New York called IMC. I branched out to New York, and from New York to LA to Atlanta. So it's doing really well. It's all male model management, and it's a small agency, but I am known in the industry, which helps me a lot during Fashion Week. Yeah.
So do you think that being a part of the scene helped you for your business sense and getting into that field?
Definitely, because by me participating in the ballroom scene, what I learned is that there's so much creativity in the ballroom scene, and there's so many people in the ballroom scene that have talent that don't realize that they can take that talent to mainstream, and then from mainstream they can just do whatever they want. We get 15 minutes of fame in the ballroom, but you can take that 15 minutes and turn it into an hour if you really apply yourself, and most people don't realize that. You have a lot of male and female figures who walk a face category and don't realize that you have a magazine face that could be marketed in the real world if you get the right agency that wants to back you. And a lot of times I'd like to back a lot of the kids that's in the ballroom scene as a model, but because of this house thing, they think that I'm trying to probably grab them to be in the House of Chanel when it has nothing to do with that. Even as a face person yourself, because you've always been a face goddess, and you've taken what's the Infinity, Brian Infinity, took it and you ran with it. And that's what you're supposed to do. So I know for me, my creativity came from saying, well, if I can do this with my house, why can't I take a group of people in the real world and make them real models? And that's how it all came about for me.
Well, that's good. I know I heard Harmonica Sunbeam once say that. She said, if you have a good business sense, use what you know and make it into something.
I did graduate. I'm a graduate of FIT. I have an associate's degree in business management and illustration design. I come from a middle-class family.
You know how to design and stuff like that?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I come from a middle-class family in Westbury, Long Island. I have a cosmetology license. I did hair for a number of years. I have an esthetician's license. I can do hair, makeup, skincare, so I'm well-rounded. A lot of people don't know that much about me. They seem to just think that I'm shady. But I do have a little bit of brains up here. So I do what I do to the best of my ability, and now that I'm actually, slowing down in life, because, you reach a certain point in life where you feel like, okay, it's time for me to slow down and mentor. So now my new slogan is lead by example. So the only thing that I can do at this point in my life is allow other people to follow by what I lead myself to do. So I try to lead by example. When I go out to a function, I try not to make a scene I don't argue when someone in my house is chopped. I tell my kids not to argue when someone is chopped. When I'm in the real world, I try to carry myself in a respectable, conductive manner that's respectable in the industry. You know, you don't always have to allow your sexuality to play a part in your lifestyle when you're looking for work. So at the end of the day, I feel that the ballroom community has given me so much that I need to start giving back. And by giving back, I like to mentor any and everyone who comes my way and say, I'd like for you to, you know, help me in any way that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful to take, you know, and take it to the next level, because what else can we do
Exactly,
as adults?
Because even like with GMHC, you know, back in the days, they gave they gave me an award when Albert was there. God bless the dead. And Albert taught me so much about HIV prevention. And a lot of the kids don't even take it seriously enough to know that AIDS is alive and it's out there. And a lot of people feel that if they talk about AIDS prevention, that they're going to be labeled as someone who has AIDS. Just because you talk about AIDS prevention, it doesn't mean that you're infected. It means that you have concern for your community and the people that are around you. So let's just remember this. For every person that you sleep with, you're sleeping with the person that they slept with before you and before them and before them. Wouldn't it be better to just be safe than to be sorry? So if you don't know, get tested. And if you do know, take your meds, eat right, get your rest, and stay off the drugs. And guess what? You'll be here a lot longer. The kids read me and they call me a whole bunch of things, but guess what? I'm still here.
You're still here. And that's why we love you.
You know, and I don't have a problem with someone saying to me, why did you chop me? And I'll tell them so that they can get better.
Yeah.
If they say, why are you so shady?
But that's a true leader. A true leader will, you know.
You know, and I remember one time I came to you, I said, Luna, why you never have a Chanel on your panel at the latex board? And you said, is that true? I didn't even realize that. And what did you do? You put a Chanel on the panel because it had to be brought to your attention. You know, a lot of times people don't realize if you don't go to the person to find out what the problem is, you'll never know what the solution can be. So at the end of the day, it starts with you and it ends with you. So the most important thing to remember, in the immortal words of Eric Christian Bizarre, when you walk a ball, just remember, it's only a ball.
That's true.